Subscribe my channel to remain connected with me and press the bell icon so you will never miss any update. So guys, welcome back. So next is cell wall. So today we are going to discuss it. So what cell wall? Cell wall is usually flexible but sometimes fairly rigid layer that surrounds the cell membrane or plasma membrane. It's found in both plants, bacteria, fungi, algae, and some archaebacteria. But there are some exceptions where we can't find the cell wall. That's animals and mycoplasma, that's the smallest bacteria without cell wall. The material in the cell wall varies between species to species and can also differ depending on the cell type and development stage. Now there are mainly three layers in the cell wall. That's middle lamella. Middle lamella is a layer which is rich in pectins. Outermost, it's the outermost layer that forms the interface between two adjacent cells and glues them together. Actually, it is the middle lamella which holds the two cells together. Then after middle lamella there is primary cell wall. Primary cell wall generally thin, flexible and extensible layer formed while the cells is growing. It's only found in meristematic cells. It's not seen in permanent cells. So then after primary cell wall there is secondary cell wall that's thicker than the primary cell wall. And is formed inside the primary cell wall. So now coming to the secondary cell wall. It's found in the permanent cells like sclerenchyma, collenchyma, and this gives the rigidity, and this is much thicker than the primary cell wall. Sometimes some other materials like lignin, xylin are deposited in the secondary cell wall, so that makes the one and the another layer that's we call sometimes the tertiary layer, but in all cases tertiary layer is not present. So now coming to the functions of the cell wall. Firstly, let me tell you there are different materials present in different organisms. Like bacterial cell wall is made up of peptidoglycan, fungi cell wall is made up of chitin, and like plant cell wall is made up of cellulose, hemicellulose, and other proteins. So now coming to the functions of the cell wall. Coming to the cell wall functions, actually there are three main layers present in the secondary cell wall. That's S1, S2, and S3. The difference only lies in the orientation or in the position of their cell arrangements. So functions of the cell wall. Cell wall determines the shape of the cell. It supports it gives the mechanical strength to the cell, which means it prevents it from the physical damage, allows plant to get taller, and it cell wall also prevents the cell membrane from bursting. And that's it resists the water stress rather. Cell wall acts as a physical barrier to some pathogens and some other organisms which are going to cause the inner to the cell membrane. Cell wall acts as a carbohydrate storage, especially like seeds. The cell wall is used to store some carbohydrates. It's using signaling. Cell wall is using signaling, like the cell gets injured or some cork gets fractured. There is a fragment of wall called as oligosaccharines that acts as the hormone and passes the signal to the inner of the cell. So the cell wall also helps in signaling, and so generally cell wall is the outermost to a plasma membrane that covers the cell and gives the mechanical strength. It gives the mechanical strength to the cell, which